Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alde Pratna from class E. My ID number is 2003021101148. Want to present my material about the question that arise from the Interstellar movie by Christopher Nolan. And the title of this subject is Interstellar fiction film that are mere fiction. Introduction. Interstellar is a 2014 science fiction film directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, and still many more. The story of this film is set in 2067, where the condition of the earth at that time was no longer able to support the needs of mankind because agricultural fields were often damaged by blight. The storm hit the land and mankind experienced overpopulation. Matthew McConaughey as a Cooper, a former NASA test pilot, now is retired and choosing to become a farmer. Live with his family, including his father-in-law, his son Tom as Timothy Chalamet, and his 10-year-old daughter Merv Mackenzie Foy. She is who she is who believes that their home are haunted by ghosts who try to communicate with her. After challenging Merv to prove the truth through the scientific investigation, Cooper discovers that the ghost is an anomaly in the form of the Earth's gravity. The anomaly shows a collection of dust and coalesces in binary form. After the binary code cracks, a secret location that is leading to a NASA base led by Professor Brand as the Michael Caine. Professor Brand reveals to Cooper that humanity's struggle for survival is increasingly futile. He proposed a solution to travel to a new galaxy to find planets that have a chance for mankind to live in. Cooper was recruited to fly the Endurance spacecraft, a test spacecraft with a mission to search for habitable planets through a wormhole that formed in Saturn orbit. Wow. The Endurance will track the Lazarus mission. Lazarus is the first plane assigned to search for several planets that have a chance for human habitation, while the Endurance plane is tasked with confirming the data that has been sent by Lazarus crew by going to a planet that is declared livable upon arrival at somewhere in the vicinity of a managed site that is sent across a wormhole to find multiple planets candidates in the long term. The whole can the whole can travel very far from the light. After they departed using the Endurance spacecraft, a problem arose that was quite difficult for ordinary people to understand. Research question 1. What is the main reason why the black hole is the main subject of discussion in this film? 2. What makes Cooper able to interact with Merv even though their timelines and dimensions are different? Literary review. The area of space-time from which it is impossible to escape to the future null infinity can thus be described as the black hole. Hawking in 1973. Now, This analysis came to the conclusion that there are only singularities and we cannot go into the future. We cannot go into the future due to some incidents whose hypothesis is not supported by the interplanetary movie or Interstellar. I reached a dead end in this literacy. For instance, it is not feasible to go into the future, despite the fact that the Interstellar movie explains how to the occurrence of traveling into the future is possible. This is the discussion one. In the book of science, in the book The Science of Interstellar, Kip Thorne says that the accuracy of the test of Einstein's relativity laws is excellent, with the exception of quantum physics. I am certain that he is correct, he said. Only in singularity, the core of a large black hole like a gargantua in this film, does quantum physics apply. Therefore, if there are if there are black holes at all in our universe, they must have the characteristic of that Einstein's relativistic equation required, the characteristic that I list above. And then he claimed that the black hole he created was a perfect fit for Einstein's theory of relativity. The black hole has gained worldwide attention due to its correctness, and even its black hole created by Professor Thorne has become a source of scientific reference. The, the gravitational formula invented by Einstein, which was subsequently modified by Kip Thorne to display the genuine black hole on the screen in accordance with actual theory, is where the movie's black hole actually from. They do not or they do not originate in the mind or in the books. In order to create a picture that fit the formula he computed, the formula was then replicated by a team of editors that included members of Christopher Nolan and Kip Thorne. An actual black hole is successfully visualized for the first time in this movie by Kip Thorne, and the black hole turns out to be a very fascinating topic of discussion. And now we move to discussion 2, and in this discussion I quote from a YouTube video that I explain how dimensions work. A line is a form of one dimension, because if we live there, all we can see is a long line along that line only, just straight. A square is an example of two dimension because it is can be seen from the length and the width. The next example is three dimension has a cube. We can see the length, width, and height. Unfortunately, we humans are trapped in this third dimension. It means that it is impossible to us to see the object with higher dimension except for their projection. I think the explanation from the leading astronaut Carl Sagan is very reasonable because humans who now live in the third dimension want to go to a one dimension world, then what we see in that world is only certain body part that touch that world. Whereas in our eyes, what we see in our feet are stepping on a line on a piece of paper. Get it? Get it. The cube in our world is an example of three dimension, while the cube frame that we draw to form three dimension is still two dimensional because it only has width and length. We cannot see object in four-dimensional form directly because we live in a three-dimensional world as I said before, and it is not possible for us to see object with higher dimension. Therefore, tesseract were created. If in three dimension that shape is a cube inside a cube, but The shape of a cube in four dimension is a cube that is stacked on top of each other. Stack, but multiple. This means that each corner of the room displays various kind of object in a particular room. And that time become physical and time become a physical object that can be traced forward or backward. Hmm. Because Cooper is already in the fourth dimension, he can travel wherever he wants and he goes to the place where the first anomaly occurred in his house, which is considered gravity. He dropped several books altering the gravity of the place to form a binary code that is his daughter Merv could see and sense. And finally he realized that all this time what Merv considered a ghost was actually him who was in the fourth dimension. Conclusion: the whole plot of the interplanetary movie or Interstellar revolves around as a rescue effort for humanity that is stuck on a planet that is so no longer habitable, prompting Cooper and his team to go across space in search of a new planet that is more suited for humans to dwell in. They meet natural phenomena that they never have seen before while searching for a new planet, such as a black hole and Cooper who becomes imprisoned inside it and transported to the fourth dimension. Even though Christopher Nolan claimed he was prepared to create a fake scene of make a black hole to more comfortable in the audience's eyes, but it turns out what is visualized by formula is even more endearing. Watch it again. Even that stunning black hole is a real black hole according to the Einstein relativity formula, because this involves the study of the science fiction controlling movement and time using body motion is the greatest thing that can be done in this movie. This is my references and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.